You know, when I started doing my channel, I never expected myself to get into such situations like this. But hon- honestly, though, I think that's to be expected. But here we are now. Now, for those who are wondering, I had to delete my live stream because it wasn't the one I wanted to do in the first place. But it does still have to do with the situation we're going to be talking about. And please, dear God, help me when I do this here. Now, for some context, let's begin and right here though. Melinda, or Mel, as we're going to call her for this video, which is shorter and a lot better to say, is a user that I formerly was friends with. Now, I was informed about it almost a week about what was going on with the situation, and let me tell you, it was not pretty from what I gathered so far, though. But before we get into that, let's provide introduction about how this all started. It all began in mid or late February, around the time when I was really going through a lot of struggles in my personal life, though. I had a family member who was in rehab, but thankfully she came home. She actually is back on her feet, though I don't want to jinx it all the time because she's really bad on her feet as it is, though, so I can't really say that much of it, though. Now, as the time continued, though, I was on a live stream with some other users, and Mel was one of those users that I wanted to see what was going on, though. She acquainted me as I acquainted her back, though, and as such, we always go a long way to show how much we want to show our friendship. As the friendship goes on, though, I wanted to introduce her to my friends. I'm not going to list everybody here, but the most I can say from this, though, is that it's really hard for me to grasp on who to side with when it comes to that, though. Now, Mel is one of those users that I myself didn't really think there was anything wrong with until starting about last week, though. But we'll get back to that in a few minutes, though. And instead of just jumping to conclusions, though, I myself see that she was an unfortunate. It's a time of need help, though. So as such, though, I asked her what does she need help with, and as you can tell, this help that she did was something that she helped me out while coping with me because I was going through a lot, though. And in return, I did the same for her as well, though. Unfortunately, she wanted me to help her out with her channel by just saying I need a banner or some stuff like that. So instead, I decided to, well, not just make a banner, but as well as make her at least fan art so I can show her that there will be people who appreciate that. Of course, not everything I do is going to appreciate the people behind and in front of me. So get used to seeing that. One thing I will say though is that when I was creating something for her, I created her a banner, which if you've seen my YouTube banner, you already know what it looks like. But for Mel's, however, since this was during the time I didn't have a community tab at the time, I decided to make her that look one that looked like she didn't like when I made her because get this, it was too small for her and such like that. I had to put it on a YouTube video though because that's the only way she can actually get it. And this was a month before I got the community tab, so keep that in mind. I didn't get a community tab until March, so I couldn't really announce it and such, though, and I couldn't show it to literally everyone. So I decided to do just that. Unfortunately, she kept asking on my comments how to put it on, even though she already has a banner on her channel. I'm not sure because if sometimes she was asking that because she wanted to get on my nerves, or she was just asking because she needed help or anything like that. So I decided to give her the instructions, and as such, those instructions are to show how we put the banner up. And yeah, she said that she did screenshot it, but guess what? She didn't use the banner I made. And she just asked for more help. Well, I did. She said she took a screenshot of the instructions, but this was during the time when I was actually needing to help someone out to create their channel. Unfortunately for Mel, she didn't really do much with the banner. Instead, she uses yellow sunflowers, which, much to my, I hate to say it, dismay of that though. Like, yellow sunflowers, I can at least say, yeah, they are pretty nice and all that stuff. I guess you could say that, but I've worked pretty hard on that banner for like several hours to make because I'm not really good with my art skills. if that wasn't obvious already. I'm no professional. I'm no expert on how to get these things quicker and much more done and faster. But I thought, saying to myself, you know what? I'm just gonna do whatever I can though. So after a while, she didn't use the banner, and I said to myself, it's fine if she doesn't like the banner. I mean, hell, this is why I don't do any banners for any people that ask, well, why don't I do anything like that anymore? So yeah, if you're wondering why I don't do banners for people anymore, this is why. Nobody ever uses them, except for Noah, who does go into my comment section asking me questions and all stuff. So I guess I could appreciate that. He did use it on his birthday, and that's pretty thoughtful, even though he doesn't have it anymore because of the 25th anniversary of SpongeBob. So I guess that's really fine and all that stuff, though. But hey, at least he used it, unlike some of the people who rejected my banners. Now, the second thing I did for Mel was create her some fan art because I wanted to show that like that. Like I said yesterday, I wanted to show off the Flamingo-tastic fan art poster, which I've created, which took me a while to make, and as such, she was the first one on there because I thought she'd be the easiest to draw, though. But that style, I'm not proud of it as such. I wish it were better. I wish it were good, but this is why I get anxious over art skills because every time I do art skills, everybody seems to fucking hate it. And when I do it, though, look, I'm no expert on artwork, but at least with the drawings I do, at least on camera, what if you've seen my YouTube shorts from last year, yeah, I am not a good artist when it comes to that, but at least I try. I'm not no good at anything really, but that's beside the point. However, after giving the artwork to Mel, she just didn't like it. In fact, she just brushed it off, like say, that doesn't look like me. And I say, well, I'm no artist, but at least I tried. And she just didn't respond back after that. Like, I can't tell if she was pissed off at me or she just thought, what the hell? Because that's or noticed that she didn't like it though. But other times though, she was very complimenting and she always liked what a lot of us do. Not just me necessarily, but to anyone in the group though. Now, from there, you're probably saying to yourself, what does this have to do with the Mel situation? And so much and so forth. Because this is going to be heavy, like heavier than I thought it would have though. Responding back to her after she has a form. It's here where I have to say, though, things have not been turned for the better. In fact, I go so far, it's a lot worse. What makes me feel really upset, though, is how she's been going around doing this. Now, as you guys probably know, we warned her about Madeline Hatter a few months ago, and it hasn't been even a fucking year yet, and she goes ahead and does with Madeline anyways. For those who don't know, I talked about Madeline Hatter a lot on my channel, which I'm gonna probably be deleting some Madeline Hatter videos, maybe, but not the take on because that's the one I actually most I thought and it's more discombobulated than I thought it would be with my channel. I'll probably delete videos I'm not proud of and so much more and so forth. Though, unfortunately for Mel, she just goes ahead and just says things like stop picking on my friends, which yeah, you should say that to Madeline Hatter, especially for what she's been doing so far. But for some reason, after time goes on though, she starts copying whatever Madeline does. And I still have yet to ask, why is she doing this? Because of saying that she has haters? Okay, Mel, I don't care if you're watching my video, even though I blocked you from my channel. That's beside the point. One thing I will say though, if you don't want anyone to hate you, it's best not to harass them anyway. Why not just block them? It's like I said in the community tab, and say it once again though. Just click the three little dot thing, press hide channel, and boom, you're done. It's done. You don't have to worry about it. But no, you had to go so far as to keep him implying that harassment is the best way to help your things out, though. Now, I may not be the smartest person in the world like Einstein or anything, or Ben Franklin for that matter, but even with someone with two brain cells could tell you that harassment and cyberbullying and threatening and whatever have you that you do on the internet is not going to help your case at all. It's just going to make it worse, and you're not going to make it end just by doing so already, though. I can't believe I'm saying this to a bunch of people who should know this shit already. Like, we're in 2024, and yeah, some of these people are still doing this already. It doesn't stop there, my friends, because honestly, though, she does things that are much more worse than ever before, though. So, in case you guys don't know, I was really getting sick and tired of how much I've been going through, and unfortunately, if you couldn't tell just by listening to my voice a few podcasts ago, I was not feeling so good. My voice was getting lower by the minute, though. I had aneurysm, which I'm still fucking dealing with to this day because I finally realized I've had this for a while now, and as well as say I don't like going into detail with this. My leg pain. Yeah, I go through cramps in my legs a lot though, and my aneurysm got dropped off from there though, which is understandable because that goes from the lungs and all so forth. But when she started doing this stuff to my friend Hannah, and as well as Purloin and so on and so forth, this is where I started crossing the line and started doing that community post, which will be a week on Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Hey, when it's Sunday though, but I'll probably do a Mother's Day community post anyways. Anyways, after that, however, things started getting a turn for the worse, at least from what I tell this week. By the time I'm writing this video, it's been pretty much a disastrous nightmare though. What I'm about to tell you guys is gonna be concerning, considering that Mel is first and foremost a child on the internet who says that she's 6 years old, which I never asked her for her age, but that's what she says in some time though. But I still have yet to ask though, how does a 6-year-old have a channel? And maybe she got it from her parents' account or someone else she lives, then they give her their account and such like that. Who's to say? But that's not important. What is important is how she's dealing with this kind of misbehavior up to my freaking friends. And what's even worse, at least from my extension to this, is that she just doesn't even understand what's been happening to my friends lately. Like, the first thing she ever did was make fun of my friend Hannah because they were going through a seizure. And what did Mel do? I shit you not, she went so far as to mock said behavior. Here's the thing, I've been with people who went through seizures. I've went through it from a kid in high school, for the most part I never cared for because he went to sexually harass my girlfriend and I at the time. But even so, I still didn't like what he was going through. His seizures were something that I could not really enjoy to see. And I think though, the second person would be my pops when he was going through it 2 years ago, and he went through it last year, a few months before his passing. And even with that said, however, it still hurts me to see people go through seizures. It's not a fucking joke, and stop fucking laughing at it. I don't think I need to say this to people who need one or two brain cells to even tell this, but if someone needs to say it, this needs to be said. Like, don't wait till it's too late. You need to freaking say it no matter what happens, though. Unfortunately, though, while Mel is still being deluded and to not notice this, though, I told her to stop no matter what happened, though, because it's not going to get anywhere in life, though. Unfortunately, she mocked me. If you've seen my community post, you already seen what she's been doing. She met me, and I said to her, if you don't stop, you're gonna be on my channel, and we'll have to collaborate and work together. As you can tell, she still never went on my channel because for some fucked up reason, though she's not afraid to go into comments, but she's still afraid to confront me, who's an adult though. Now maybe she's afraid to do this because I'm gonna confront her and all that stuff, but you might well say it. I wouldn't know but the choice but to do it. And before you ask, no, this is not a take on. Oh, and speaking of take on though, and yeah, this is going to be something I need to address right here and now. About a month ago, when I was going through a lot with my issues so far, though, I was trying to cope myself with that gag of green video. You know, the one I had in my community post where it looked like BF and DI or something like that along those lines, except it was made by a different person. Yeah, this is one case where I feel like when I was doing something to make myself feel better, I guess, because my mental issues aside, I may show happiness from time to time, but I'm kind of miserable throughout my times, though, especially for what I've been through nowadays. But that doesn't matter because for some reason she wanted me to do a take on for that individual alone. Yeah, I didn't want to mention her because maybe she misunderstood my take ons or something like that. You could say that, but I really wouldn't know because this is something that I really couldn't further grasp on that though. Some people could make the argument that maybe she's misunderstood that this was just for all fun and games, maybe. But even with that said, however, I didn't want to do a take on by someone who wasn't even ranted on. And what's more, there was no one even going so far as to go after the guy saying that he's a terrible person. What I can tell from watching his video content, he just has videos that are just like BFI and DI, even though it's not for everybody, I'll say that, but we'll get back to the teapot in a second, though. I think what really gets to me is that she just thinks that they're really horrible people when videos, unless it's an issue with the animation industry. I have no idea what the hell is her point of that, though. This would be the part where I would tell you more about what she's been doing on my channel, though, but really the most I've got was also from yesterday. Now, I don't have it no more because this is what I'm realizing, you know what, I'm just gonna do whatever I can to block her channel away from me so she can't harass me anymore. And again, guys, if you really think that I'm here to just tell you guys all the time, though, just block anyone who gets on your nerves instead of just pinning and saying this is how they harassed me. You can show me screenshots on community posts if you want, but just block the person. That way they don't bother you anymore. It's not that hard. I can't believe I have to say this again after how much I've been going throughout my time though. Anyways, after realizing that she's been doing this so far, it's here where I have to address something right here. Now, by the time of writing this video, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't want to do this section for one reason only though. See, when you get to hear me about saying about fan art, I'm going to ask you the guys the $1 million question. When someone has fan art, do they A, receive it from showing how much gratitude they have, or B, do they just get out of nowhere because they just think, yeah, that's really how it works? If you answered A, guess what? You get a cookie. And this is, wouldn't you believe it? She did make a fan art for me after her she wanted to accept my help during the time, though. Now, again, this was before the whole shenanigans started happening, so I guess you could write this off as somebody who wants to help somebody out. But even when I gave her her fan art, she just rejected it like she did with the banner. Yeah, I don't have the banner or the drawing thing anymore, though, about herself, though. I will say the drawing is in the community post, but I don't have it with me anymore in real life because I kind of misplaced it, I think I could say. But when it comes to say something like say the banner, I had to delete it because my storage wouldn't let me save it for some fucked up reason. So yeah, you can tell why I don't do banners no more or a lot of fan art because every time I do, somebody has to freaking reject it. And again, I'm not expecting everyone to be pleased with what I do. Beware that, but what I don't like is how people say to me, "Oh, thanks, Flamingo," and just never use it after that, though. I'm just trying to do something for everyone around me, and this is the thanks I get? Wow, way to be a friend after that. But the one thing I have to ask, though, is if you're gonna be my friend, I just need one thing from you: trustworthiness. I'm not asking you to be the nicest person out there. You can criticize me if you like, as long as it's constructive. But when it comes to something like Mel, she just goes ahead and demands something like that, though. So, as such, though, yesterday, because I couldn't deal with her shit anymore, I decided to just block her. Anyways, because of how she was harassing me. So, again, guys, if you feel like anyone's harassing you, not just Mel, but anyone out there, just freaking block them. There's a button for that. At least they had it there for God knows how long YouTube's been doing this already. Your junk shit because that's where my trust went out the junkyard and there's nowhere to be found. It's kind of like a needle in a haystack. Once you throw it someplace, though, it's going to be hard to find it though. But what also bothers me is how she also does this to my friends, not just Hannah, but to anyone out there, like my friend Purloin, who she really shit with all the time though. Yeah, like guys, stop shitting on people who didn't do anything to you, and stop jumping to conclusions who didn't even do anything that to make you pissed off though. If you're pissed off, it's one thing someone makes you pissed off or anything like that, but if they didn't do anything to you, need I ask why they are the ones that you're targeting in the first, and that they just freaking do this out of nowhere though. And let me be frank here, I'm not doing this to say that I'm bullying Mel. Hell, she can bully me all she wants, though. Even for a child, for bullying an adult, it's not going to affect me any sort of way. What is going to affect me is not that, though. What is going to affect me is how much she used that trust and threw it into fucking trash. Like, anytime I try my best to help people out, this is the things I always get. Hey, Flamingo trusted us. Let's throw it out the window. Do you understand that I may not be the smartest person out there, but I can still do what I can to help you? Like, I'm not saying that you have to trust me every time. I'm not here to trust everybody, not even fucking Hitler if he was here, though. No, I'm here to tell you guys that if you want me to trust you, then you have to have my trust back and so forth, though. I'm not asking for all of your friendship just to say, oh, you're only friendly because that's why we're having you as a friend, though. I'm asking for trust. I'm asking for cooperation, and I'm not asking for something like, say, money. I mean, hell, if anything, no, she asked about me making fan art for her, even though she rejected it, and then says something about a check. Yeah, because if someone wants to do fan art for you, you owe a check to them. Here's the thing: if I ever do fan art for you guys, or in this case, if anyone does fan art for me, here's what I have to say: I don't do money on my channel. I never once did, and I never will. Even if my channel grows, I'm still not doing anything for money. I'm just asking for your cooperation and your thank yous and your compliments if you say please and thank you still. That's all the payment I need. I don't need no rain check. I don't need any bill or anything like that. But whenever someone does something nice for me, I feel like it's my duty to do them. But no, apparently I'm the bad guy here because I have someone who stomps on my flamingo feet because why the hell not? And this is where I have to ask one thing though. If you really think I'm being a mean person just because I'm just addressing what's going on though, then you must really think that I'm only doing this for shits and giggles. I'm not. Whenever I have something serious to do, I will address what makes me feel like I'm having a meltdown. This is what I mean when I say I don't like doing videos like this all the time though. Even if I do take-ons, which yeah, I'll probably do them in June or July because I have so many things on my schedule as my channel. But that said, however, I'm trying my best to keep my mental breakdowns aside and my mental issues aside as well though. My mental issues are damaged since I was a child, and I don't think anyone could ever help to fix me unless you're a fucking robot master like a therapist that can help me out. It's always gonna be on top of that though. What I'm trying to say is that Mel, if you're watching this, just so you know, I'm not just disappointed at you. I'm really feel betrayed by you. I'm sure anyone else who's ever been your friend, yeah, for someone who's being your friend, we're the ones who hate you when we're not even doing anything to hate you. We're just calling you out for what you're doing. If you hate us, fine, hate us. Hate us for something we didn't even do to you. You can hate Madeline if you want, but oh, she's a good friend. She's a good friend for grooming my own peers around me, though. Like, my God. Can someone please tell Mel that I'm not in the mood for any of this shit if you decide not to block her for those who actually don't want to block her for some fucked up reason? Like, I'm not even doing this for the lulz. I'm doing this because I'm serious about what I'm saying here. And if you think otherwise, then I don't know what else to tell you. Overall, I'm not gonna lie. This is the video that made me rage quit from Mel. I blocked her, and please block her if you ever feel like she's harassing you or anything, because it's not gonna stop from there, though. That's all I have to say. So, have a good weekend. I'll be back on Monday, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy your weekend, and happy Mother's Day to those, unless I do a community post on wishing happy Mother's Day. And as always, stay flamingo-tastic. See you all on the flip side. See ya.